Hello, my kindergarten artists. Today we're going to be learning about different kinds of lines. So if you watch the line song, which is pretty cool, you'll notice that they talked about lots of different kinds of lines and used them to make pictures. So today we're just going to practice making some lines. And you can use whatever you have. You could use crayons or markers or colored pencils or even just a pen. I've got a cool banana pen here I'm going to use. So you can draw on whatever you have available. You could draw on a notebook, an old cereal box, some printer paper, drawing paper, whatever you have. So what's nice about the notebook paper is it already has some nice straight lines. So I can already do a straight line. I could just go right on top of that and trace it. And I could make a tall one like that too by tracing the sideline. Now, I have to think, what kinds of lines were in that video that we watched? I've got a nice little sheet here I can look at. This one they call it hills, but it's nice wavy lines. We could make some zigzag lines, which look like mountains. Or I've heard some people say they look like nacho chips, but without the bottoms. We could make a broken line. It's kind of like the lines you see on the street when you're out riding around in the car. Or a dotted line, which is made out of lots of cute little dots. I think they kind of look like ants marching off somewhere, maybe to a picnic. We could make loopy lines. So it's kind of like a roller coaster. They go up and they loop around. You could make a spiral. Now that's going to really fill our paper because spirals don't really end until you run out of room. So it's kind of like making a circle. But instead of connecting at where I started, I keep going around and around and around. You'll see these on like snail shells. They're pretty cool. And you just keep going. It's okay if your lines kind of go on top of each other a little, as long as you're not scribbling all crazy. And I ran out of room, so I guess that's the end of my spiral. What else could we do? We could do castle lines. I'm gonna make my castle line going down. So you just make kind of like a box, and then you make another box, kind of like the top of a castle. What else could I do? Oh, I could make it look like the ocean. I think I'm gonna put my ocean right through my spiral. And then because the ocean's cool, I might put another one at the very, very top. I think I'm gonna put another ocean right up here on top of my flat line. That could be like the beach here. So now I've practiced all of my lines. Now if you want, if you have some coloring supplies, you could do these in all different colors. You could also go back and trace over them to make them different colors. I think I'm gonna make my hills, my wavy line. I'm gonna trace over it with this color. I think it might be easier to trace with markers, but I have crayons out, so maybe I'll make my ocean one blue up here, like the actual water. Maybe I'll do that to this one too. And then spirals are kind of crazy, and I think orange is kind of a crazy color. So I think I'll go and I'll take some orange and I'll trace over my spiral with this orange here all the way till it ends. And these ones here, they're roller coasters, but they kind of remind me of bunny ears. And bunnies tend to have cute pink noses. So I'm going to use pink to trace my loopy lines here. And for my castle one, castles are strong. They're usually made out of like stone or bricks or cement, so I'm going to use gray. Not the most exciting color, but it still needs to get used to sometimes too. And then I think I'm gonna leave that black because it reminds me of little ants. I think for my mountain, since some people like to say they look like nacho chips, maybe I'll make them yellow. And then I haven't used green yet. I think I might make my flat line, my horizontal line green. And then maybe I'll get out some purple and use that for my tall vertical line. And now I just have my broken line here. I think I'll use brown. Kind of like how sometimes streets are brown, or like mud. And there we go. Now I have all of my lines. I practiced all my lines and I even added some color. So you can use whatever paper or whatever coloring stuff you have. Just go ahead and practice those lines.